During our last bit of time that we have with you here today, we wanted to talk just a little bit about our dad, Ron Hefty. He recently passed away. He was 77 years old, and you often hear us talking about the lessons that we learned from him on the farm and just in business, in agriculture in general. So we wanted to talk a little bit about him and just a little remembrance here at the end of the show today.
One of the things that I would say, Brian, is probably the first lesson that we learned from Dad is hard work. It started at a young age for us. We learned all those $5 an hour jobs that we talk about sometimes. While Dad was busy doing the $100 jobs, we were busy. And it really helped us because we got to learn the farm really from the ground up with all those little jobs first before we got to do the bigger, more fun jobs.
One of the things that I really appreciated is he gave us a lot of responsibility at a young age on the farm and in business. And I can just tell you, he would often put us into jobs where we were probably a little over our heads. He'd give us some explanation, and then undoubtedly we weren't doing it right when it came to check up on us. He was yelling at us all the time about stuff, but the point is, it was do the job right. And you know, it's really hard to give all the instruction up front, so I understand it a lot now. I really didn't when I was growing up, but it was just nice to have all those opportunities. So at very young ages, we were able to do a lot of things, and granted, he was really big on safety. He never did anything that put us in harm's way or anything like that, but we just got a lot of responsibility when we were young, and it was great.
Well, you talk about the business side too, and we always talked about money right from the beginning, and I see in so many farm operations it's different where they don't really mention that very much, and Dad was big on this is how much it costs and this is what we need for a return, and it really drove some of those main concepts that we talk about in our show. They're things we've talked about since we were pretty young kids and we really understood. In fact, Brian and I used to run a lot of the livestock operation on our farm, and we figured out one time that we could rent the facilities from Dad and do things.
We didn't figure it out. We worked out a deal with Dad.
Exactly, because we're talking about this all the time, and we figured out how to do this. And once we put those incentives out there, or we had those incentives, Brian and I worked really hard to make money. And when we figured out how to really make money, then Dad started rethinking that decision that, wow, maybe that's a little too much money for those guys to make early, and kind of pulled the reins back on that part of the operation. But it really got us going that we could see, you know what, when there's an incentive out there, we are willing to work hard, and that was a great lesson for us to learn.
So yeah, it was nice as we got a little older too, just bouncing a lot of things off our dad. And that was one of the things he talked about a lot too, because he moved from Iowa up here after he and our mom got married, and he didn't have his dad and his brother around anymore on the operation to bounce things off of. So
that might be okay not to work with your brother so closely. I don't know about that part. But.
Well, he was happy when Darren and I were back in the operation full time. So then he did have people to talk to about business every day. And even right to the end, I was talking to Dad about business shortly before he died, and I'm certainly going to miss that part of it as well.
Well, for all the hard work that Dad put in to set our farm up for success down the road, it was great for him to see some of the things later in life, like our opportunity to participate in the Rose Bowl parade, and certainly the Ag PhD field day was one that he really loved visiting with all of our viewers from around the country, and with the farmers from our area as well. I know that was a really fun day for him. We're sure going to miss him.
A couple last lessons. Estate planning. Our dad did a good job with that, so we don't have to worry about the future of Ag PhD and our farm and all those things that we had started with him years and years ago. And the other thing is, I just really encourage you, just make sure you're spending time with your parents and your family. Our mom passed away at age 40. Our dad did at age 77 recently, and we're certainly going to miss them, but we really cherish the time that we were able to spend with them, and a lot of time over the years.